Riana show. This is Danny Pena, Rihanna's husband.
And this is Riana Manuel Pena, Danny's wife. And today we're going to talk about finances. I know there have been some questions from people who are a little bit more close to us about how we're managing everything since going
Mm.
independent and also having a kid and also still having a new house and paying off medical debt and dealing with everything else that we deal with being in our current economy. And we're pulling it off, right? Like we're not missing payments, we're not behind on bills, and I'm sure lots of people could learn from some of the things that we've discovered work for us, right, Danny?
Yeah, and also we've been saving money too. I think, and this also happened right before we even met. I was like saving money. I was doing stuff, working on the side
You're very
when I
good at
was,
saving.
yeah, when I was living in New York. So I've been doing that, and then when we moved here to Los Angeles, I was still doing everything like content creation full time. I think you just started working at G4, and yeah, we were just talking about the future. Like, hey, we should start doing more stuff on the side. And it was just this year that we launched our business, and I think our plan has been working.
Yeah.
Where we've been, saving. We've been actually we also have like a goal for this year, the amount that we want to reach with our business, and I think it's looking really really good with everything. So, but yeah, beyond that, beyond the business side of things, we've been also doing different things where let's let's not go out too much. Let's experiment for like a month or two to see if we could save even more money. So that's another thing that we've been trying to do, like not buying foods outside. Let's start cooking more here, because we love going to restaurants. That's something that we love to discover, new restaurants around the local area. We love to support local business too, So, but I think it's been great, Ree. I'm
Yeah.
excited to continue this new path of us saving more money, So it's been great.
It has. And like taking it back to, when we met, like you just did, for me, I was looking at, moving out of an apartment and
Hmm.
coming down to LA. Before Danny and I connected, I was fully planning to like get a tiny house and, plan to do FIRE or FIRE, which if you're not familiar with the financial term, it's financially independent and retiring early. So I was ready to live on bare minimum, have very little living expenses, and put away like all of my money so that I didn't have to
Hmm.
work for much longer,
Hmm.
or at least not many decades longer. And for people who know me, it's hilarious because I have a low key shopping addiction, especially now that I've discovered TikTok Shop. But I was really serious about downsizing and not having a huge rent and, living off of bare minimum. Danny and I got together and we quickly wanted to build a life. And that obviously costs more than the tiny house that I had visioned for my immediate future. So now that we're here with the house, it comes with mortgage, with our independent business fees, with the kid,
Hmm.
we are, as Danny said, making adjustments. And going a month without ordering or going out to eat is going to be fun. We're already off to a great start and have been doing good cooking here. Danny cooks a lot. I know how to cook, but I'm just lazier with it. But it's been a good
Yeah.
challenge to try to get more practice at it. And, a couple of the things that I think are really helping for us, again, on the business side, as Danny mentioned, we set a financial goal for our first year. We're on track to meet, possibly exceed it. So that's very exciting. Part of the reason why we felt confident in me taking the big step and leaving my full time work so quickly. Other things that we have found really help for the business is I manage the business's finances. So I have been working with a payroll software called Gusto. This is a recommendation from our accountant. Shout out to UGO.
Hmm.
And it takes all of our taxes and benefit costs out of our paychecks before we get paid. So we have an S corp. The business gets money, and then we roll paychecks twice a month. And what we do is we work ahead so that we always have at least a month and a half of additional paycheck money in our business account. That way, we're never running short, or if there's a late payment from a client, or if something happens, we're not stranded without our typical income. So, for Danny and I, we haven't really seen any change in our paycheck frequency, because we still get around the same amount as we did when we both had full-time jobs. So that has been really helpful because we haven't had to do any like emergency shock planning for our daily finances or expenditures. Like the amount we pay for mortgage and bills still comes out of our joint account. We still have our own personal accounts for fund money. All of that still works the same, even though we are now independent. And that has been really helpful because it sort of took the fear of going a few months or maybe longer without steady income. We haven't had to do that. So that's a testament to our planning, honestly, because we knew we wanted to be as stable as possible with such a risky move. And that has really worked out in our favor for sure, especially since we're both independent in the same new company and not Danny has a full time and I'm independent or vice versa. So that removal of that risk factor or that gap in steady paychecks has really helped us because we're able to just maintain our same habits, our same quality of life, everything that we're used to doing. And then moving forward, as Danny said, like when we get into the business year 2, we're really going to be focusing on paying down debt and making big investments so that we have some passive income and can rely less on booking more and more client work and focus more on, you know, building our wealth and our portfolio and making some lifelong accounts for Violet and setting up Danny's retirement and doing all of the things that we're really excited to take control of as business owners. So yeah, the business side stuff is working out really well, but the personal stuff, as I said, I may have a slight shopping addiction and we like to eat out a lot and we're very social people. You know, we like to go out to dinners and see movies and have drinks. So what are some of the things, Danny, that you think are really helping us maintain our our budget and our savings plan, even though we do like to spend on ourselves?
Well, like for me, I know we brought this up a couple episodes ago where, you know, I love going to the movies
Yes.
by
Yes, you do.
myself or with you. You know, I love doing that. So I think getting that subscription service has been great because all I do is just show up. I could watch 3 movies at the theater per week, you know. So even if it's new movies, doesn't matter if it's a Dolby, IMAX, I guess still could go there. And if you think about it, each ticket, imagine not me having that subscription service and just showing up. Those tickets are expensive, you know,
Yeah,
especially
that's
here
like
in
a hundred
LA.
something dollars a month.
Yeah,
Easily.
so by the way I'm doing it now, I'm just paying like 20 something bucks a month and I'm saving, you know, a lot of money like that. So that's one way how it's been helping me to save money. Also subscription services where you know, like just today I just signed up Paramount Plus. I did that because you know that's a show that I watch every season, which is
We
Big
want to watch
Brother.
Big Brother.
Big Brother. So I watched that. Doing that also, we've been also. Oh well, NFL. The NFL season is coming up. Football season is coming up. So I paid also for the NFL ticket for that. You know, so there's certain things that I know is going to be expensive, but there's ways for me to save so I could subscribe or buy certain things that I want, and that's something that's been helping me. Like if I want, you know, new sneakers, you know, I've been buying a lot of sneakers lately. I'm like, okay, I know it's gonna cost this amount. Let me wait to see if I could, you know, save up some money, and based on how much money I made that month, I'm like, okay, I could buy something that I like, you know. And the reason why I started doing that and I've gotten better is because we watched this show called How to Get Rich on Netflix, which is highly, highly recommended, which helps you to you'll see like different stories of uh couples or, you know, young people that just started, you know, they just moved out, but they have a lot of debt. In that show, it explains where it's not about like, hey, how to get rich and you live the crazy life. It's not about that. It's more about like how to save your money and also pay your debt. And once you do that, you're going to be in a better place financially. That's going to help you to do like, hey, if you want to go travel, you want to do certain things that you love to do, you're living the rich life, you know. So that's what it is. So for those who are watching or listening, I highly recommend for you to watch that because it was very inspirational. And it helped us even better when it comes to like saving money and things that we love to do together as a family, you know. So like this past weekend we went to Disney, you know, like there was stuff that we bought over there, you know, like
Oh yeah.
because we're
Shout out
excited.
to the Drakes and the Disney family discount. That
Yeah,
helps a
yeah,
lot.
that definitely that. But also like doing that, and also, it's Violet's first time going to Disney. So like there is experience that we want to do together as a family, but at the same time we have to be smart with, you know, is there certain things that we want to buy but it's too expensive? Let's wait. Or you get what I'm saying? Like let's say we want to go to Dominican Republic. You know, like for example, we wanted to go back in early July. We were trying to buy a flight. It was like around June or so. We looked it up, and the prices was crazy because we were trying to buy it during the holiday season, which everybody's probably going to be flying out over there, right? But if we wait, the price is going to go down. So there is an app which is highly recommended for those. I've been using that for years now. It's called Hopper, where you could go put the dates of like flights that you want to go somewhere, and it will tell you to wait or buy now, and it'll tell you if the price is going to go down or not. Like things like that helps to save money and be smart on like when to buy certain things. You get what I'm saying? So that's the thing that I've been getting better at, I think, now the past couple of years.
Yeah, and to your point, like picking and choosing where we spend our money has been really crucial in helping us. And once again, the How to Get Rich program on Netflix taught us a lot of lessons. Just watching other people go through that exercise,
Mm-hmm.
and the main premise is like you're not necessarily becoming rich, like amassing a ton of wealth. You're choosing where you really want to spend and choosing where you don't mind saving. So,
Mm-hmm.
for instance, Danny does his own hair. I do my own hair.
I don't have
Those
hair, but yeah,
well,
you get
well,
what
you
I'm
still
saying.
maintain your
Yeah, I
hair,
do. I'm just
and
joking.
that takes time and energy and effort.
Yeah.
And you do it yourself. You could go get haircuts all the time. You could go get lineups all the time on your beard. Like you don't. You do it yourself. I
Mm-hmm.
do my hair myself. And if you're not aware, kinky curly black hair can be really expensive to take care of. I've put in the time and the investment and the self learnings to be able to do it myself. And I go to a stylist a couple of times a year at most, for really crucial things that I can't do myself. And that's been a huge savings. Like, at least for me, if I were to go to a stylist, let's say once a month for curly hair treatments, that would be like easily like $12,000 or twelve hundred
Mm-hmm.
dollars a year, right? Like that can add up pretty quickly. I used to do my own nails. I don't anymore because I'd rather have that time that it took me several hours in an afternoon usually to spend with my family or working. So those are times when you have to pick and choose where to either spend money or save money depending on what your lifestyle requires, and it can change over time. And what we have found is when we save where we can, like we don't have cable, we keep our daily costs low, we're working on not buying food as much
Mm-hmm.
out, then we can spend on things that we really want to do. And that makes us feel like we have a rich life. And it's, again, not necessarily amassing tons and tons of wealth, like, but you see us like enjoying what we're doing and like going on trips and seeing family and having all these fun family outings. And the reason we're able to do that is because we save where we don't want to spend as much money. And that has been working really well for us, and that looks different for everyone. Like maybe you have and you need to have cable because for whatever reason, or maybe you buy a lot of video games. Danny and I are very fortunate that we don't have to buy many video games, and we have subscription services for other stuff like Game Pass and PS Plus and everything.
I don't buy games like that.
Yeah,
I
I
used
mean,
to.
we
I
don't have
used
to
to.
because we get gifted a lot of games
Yeah.
as part of our job.
Yeah. I only will buy if it's like a collector
Yeah,
where
like a special
they only
edition.
yeah they only made like a certain amount, like that type of thing, or
Right.
a physical version where I just want to collect. Like let's say a couple months ago, I purchased Tetris Effect Connected. They only made a certain amount of physical version, and I just bought it online. Like things like that, yeah. But
Yeah,
like
special stuff.
yeah, but if it's like new games, we get codes, of course. But also the thing I love about Game Pass, a lot of those games comes out day one, available there. It's a subscription service, depending on
Hmm.
which tier you have, you know. But
Or we
yeah.
just wait a lot of
Oh, we
times.
wait. Oh, we wait.
Yeah.
Yep. 100%.
But back to the point, like a biggest thing that we have chosen intentionally in order to save money in one area in order to spend it in other areas is childcare.
Mm-hmm.
Danny and I do not have regular childcare. We have been taking care of and raising our daughter on our own. And aside from a few family favors here and there of watching Violet for maybe an evening or a couple days, like in the case of my mom coming up for Summer Game Fest, it's just us. And that is saving us, most parents will know, thousands of dollars every month. So
Mm-hmm.
there are different ways to pick and choose where you're able to save in order to have more fun money or more necessity money in other areas. But it truly takes intentional examination of how you're setting your life up, because not everybody can just say, we don't need childcare. Danny and I intentionally changed our lifestyle, our jobs, our careers in order to make this a reality, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it does take work. It's not as simple as, just turn off your subscriptions. That's
No.
part of it, but a lot of it is really examining like what matters to you. Like, are there things that you pay for or do that you wouldn't mind switching up? And talking to your family unit and making those changes where you can. And that's really helped us a lot because we're so happy and so blessed to be where we are, but it is not by accident. It's
Mm-hmm.
by design. And I'm really happy we've been able to figure out our finances, and whether I'm employed full time or not, like we are still living the rich life that we've always wanted. Like every couple of days I just turn to you, I'm like, Danny, I'm really happy. Like this
It
is going
helps.
great.
It helps. Yeah. I mean, you know, I know that it could get very stressful and people could get nervous when they hear like, oh man, 100% you doing all this, paying the health insurance, all that stuff and doing
Which is a
payroll
cost.
yourself. It's a cost,
Yeah.
but I think if you plan things out from the beginning, it will be a lot easier at the end of the day to do all of this. So we did our research. We talked to like the right people of like tips. How can we save money? Not only with that, but also using a payroll software like Gusto, the taxes, all that stuff. Because originally for me, I was getting a lot of income doing side gigs, and I had to pay everything at the end of the year. I have
You're
to
a
pay
1099 freelancer.
1099, yeah, and it was very tough seeing the amount of money that I had to pay back for like taxes, especially here in the state of California. It probably would have been the same in a state like New York or Washington, different places like that where it's just expensive, taxes and everything. So, but yeah, I think that helps. It's all about planning and also having that
Yeah.
communication with your partner, or if you're doing this by yourself, do your research and talk to the right people, the accountant. If there's like any maybe local businesses that not local business, but like an organization that helps local businesses that will help you on doing those things. Maybe how to save money, how to do certain things. What is it you need to do to make it official in your local area when it comes to like getting like the LLC or whatever. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
that's been
and
helping us a
we've
lot.
talked about that
I think.
before, like the Small Business Development Center, people like
Yes.
Adam Boyes or our friends Drakes or other people who have experience with either big business or small business who have been really helpful. Shout out to Ashley, shout out to Neha, like lots of folks who have offered advice on the business side of stuff. But I think for the personal
Hmm.
finances, we've really gotten to a place where we fine tuned everything perfectly, and there are things that I do, like, for instance, I'll save something in my favorites folder rather than buying it immediately if I see it on TikTok. And if I'm thinking about it a month later, I'll buy it then. I can just wait. And that helps curve my spending habits. And, we mentioned other things that we do to save, but more than anything, it's really just looking at what you really need to spend money on for convenience or ease or whatever, and seeing where you can cut. And sometimes the changes you have to make are big ones, like leaving your job. But in the end, it really is worth it because we have the life that we want.
Yep. Yep. Anything else for you? Because I know people probably will ask like about. Well, we're not gonna mention no numbers or anything like that,
No.
but any advice for those that would love to do something like this, even by themselves or with a partner, or maybe like us, they're a couple, they want to try to do their own thing. Any advice of like tips? What are the first things, like research wise, they should do before making this move?
Yeah, some of the things that I would suggest are, like I said, looking at what it is that you're spending your money on. I use, what is it called? You Need a Budget, or YNAB, YNAB. And I pay a monthly subscription for it. But I've hooked up all of my bank accounts to YNAB, and it gives me an incredibly detailed breakdown where I sort each transaction I make, everything down from buying some gum at the gas station all the way to our monthly bills, and categorize them. And once they're all in categories, it will show me every month how much I'm making, how much I'm spending, and then give me different ways to group them so I can see them in a pie chart. Like I'm spending this much on subscriptions, or this much on gifts and extraneous spending, or this much on, healthcare costs. And I can start to make judgment calls about what I need to change and what is working out well. So that is definitely a huge recommendation I would give to people who just don't know where their money's going. I'd say You Need a Budget or something like it. A budgeting software is the first step. That's actually what pulled me out of debt before I even met you, back when I still lived in Seattle. And I was able to make better choices with my money. And like I said before, for setting up your life in order to have money for the things that you want, and sacrificing where it doesn't matter to you as much. That's the other thing. Like just really making those personal choices, and none of that will be prescriptive. It's going to look different for everyone.
No, definitely, definitely. We're gonna wrap it up here because we have a lot of things we have to do today. But
Yeah, and we're recording in the daytime.
in the daytime,
this is the first time.
Is it the first time, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's true. It is the first time doing this.
Yeah,
Oh,
you may
snap.
notice
Okay.
I have more energy.
Yeah. 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 And also we have baby in the background somewhere, but
She's hanging out with Miss
she's
Rachel.
hanging out. She's been doing great. But yeah, everyone, thank you so much for watching this episode of the Danny and Riana Show. Great conversation. But again, if you have any topics that you think we should talk about, just let us know. We love to change things around. It's not all about gaming. We talk about all kinds of different topics, man. So it's been great doing this. So anything else, Ree?
No, that's it. I just hope people, don't feel discouraged from making changes to make their finances align better with what they want them to be. I know things are hard right now for a lot of people, and there are ways to make it better. It takes work and maybe a little luck, but mostly just preparation. And, there are resources out there for you if you're trying to make a change.
Oh, by the way, one last thing I do want to mention is in the future, we would love to talk about different ways that's been helping us to like get our credit score down, that type of thing. I think we should. I mean, up. Sorry, sorry. Credit
Our balance is down.
Sorry.
our score up.
Let me do that again. I'll edit it. Another thing that I would love to talk about is how things have been helping us to get our credit score up. Because I think that will be a great conversation in the future. It doesn't have to be right away.
Yeah,
but,
we could talk about credit and mortgages and all those big
Oof.
dollar purchases that we make as adults.
Yeah. So, all right, Eric, thank you so much for watching the Danny and Riana Show. We'll be back next week. Until next time, we're out. Bye.
Bye.
Okay.